meaty, dee. Hari, 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 oh. Ooh, hari, hari, me. Ooh, hari, hari, oh. Hari, hari, me. Hari, 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 me. Hari, hari. Alright guys, I'm back. Now, I think I'm going to turn the light off. I think we're going to chill the rest of the night out. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. I did want to paint though. Red elephant, beauty. Okay. Sweet blessed melody. Thank you. It's good to see you, Red. How was your week? How was your week? How was your day? Ooh. If anybody asks you how your day was, please tell them it was sweet. Woke up to the sun beaming through your window pane. Had you a freshen up and something to drink. Made you a breakfast. Was on your journey for the day. Exercise as you wanted to. And took some time to play. Took some time to play. Took some time to play. Although I had a hiccup in my week, it didn't last too long. The beauty started to peak. I may not have romance in my life at this time, but the beauty is all around me, and the beauty is mine. If I had the chance to do it all again, I'm sure I would say yes. Because with everything that happened, it caused me to finesse all the things that appear, that come up in my life. I don't want no more strife. I just like being free. Free. I just like being free. Hey, forsaken. Oh, forsaken. It's good to see you, boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know what kind of friend you are yet. So am I. So am I. I'm grateful for my week. I tell God every morning, thank you for blessing me to be a part of another amazing day that you created. I try to wake up with a smile. I had to come to some conclusions of some things and finalize them in my life, which brought me some more peace. Peace in ways that I hadn't experienced in the last few months. Peace. It was like a resonance, a resolution. Peace. I can't let my peace go. Peace. And don't let yours go either. Anything in particular y'all want to talk about? Let's be about it. What you want to talk about? Shout out to Stream Elements for always being here. So for shaking, how are you? You say, oh, stop. Stop what, darling? You want to stop me from being me? I wouldn't dare stop you from being you. Do, 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 do. Dee, 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 dee. Hello, local M-boy Lucy. Oh, that's not what you said. You say local femboy Lucy. Hello, my femboy. I want to talk about some things that might be way out, far outside of the box. I'm good with that. Hello, PB Branch. PB Branch. Local femboy Lucy. Yeah, baby. You know what I like about people that are in the LBGT? They're not afraid to be themselves. If they want to wear their hair green, they do green. If they want to be orange, they orange. I wouldn't say they flamboyant. I just say that they are spiritually free. They are. Now there's a difference between being who you are and being something somebody made you to be. That's the difference. And there's a beauty to being who you were created to be. If a person forced themselves on you and caused you to be a way that you were not created from birth to be, then that is a violation. And that was because they did not want you to find out who you truly are and to step into the power that you're supposed to be in. They demasculated you whether you were male or female. And that was not of God. But if you was born to be this beautiful, amazing person, and this was who you were from birth, it is totally different. Okay? And I love my people. I love God's people. Even those that do wicked, horrible, evil, cruel things. Hold on. Somebody asked me a question. Let me see what they said right quick, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I had a brother. He was kind of eccentric. And he would say some of the most funny things. I tried my best to record him while he was still in the body, so other people could be able to experience some of the amazing things that would come out of his mouth or from his mind. I remember, and the reason I'm going here is because I just got a message. I just got a text from somebody asking me something about my next to the youngest sibling who passed last year in February. My brother was very free. He was outgoing. He never took thought of what tomorrow would bring. He would just take off. If he felt like that he wanted to go from here to a whole nother state, he would do that. With just the clothes on his back and whatever money he had in his pocket. But I remember one day sitting down talking to my brother. I don't know where this came from. I just asked him. I said, hey, I said, do you see ghosts? And he told me, he said, no, just a clan. I looked at him, I said, what the fuck? So I asked him again. I said, do you see ghosts? He said, no, just a clan. So my brother spent like about uh, anywhere from 13 to 15 years in a whole nother state where the Ku Klux Klan was very active. And I wasn't aware of that until about maybe within the first 8 months after him returning back, to where I was at. I was living. The courts had made me his guardian. Yeah, without me asking. Ooh, really? You playing a Assassin's Creed? He was. My brother was totally funny. He would say all kind of stuff. And I don't know if we do this just for keep his memory alive, but there was a lot of things he said that we still say to this day. Not because he passed, but we were saying some of these things long before then. My brother would say stuff like, and let me, before I go there, let me say this. My brother was a very spiritual person. When you find people that are in mental institutions or that's on medication, and they saying it's to suppress their oh, psychosis, so to speak. I don't believe that because I found out that my brother he was so spiritual that different people that were no longer in the body would actually come and dock within him. Like this man named, I forgot his first name, but they called him Racehorse. He was a tall, slim, Caucasian man. And he was actually my brother. I'm saying it was my brother, but it wasn't my brother. But Racehorse was actually holding a conversation with me. And I mean, we talked and stuff, and I said, "Oh," I said, "So how you doing?" "Well, I'm doing all right. I'm fine. I'm just that and other." I said, "Okay." While my brother was talking to me, I had grabbed my cell phone and I put this man's name in. And when I put the man's name in, I found out the man had passed, and it was actually this person. And so I talked to him for about 5 minutes, and then I say, "Well, Racehorse," I said, "Did you know you passed on?" He said, "No, I didn't." I said, "Yeah, you did." He said, "No." He said, "I'm very much alive." I say, "Well, you may be very much alive spiritually, so." I say, "But uh, you've actually docked inside of my brother's body, and you're talking to me." And he said, "No." He said, "This is me." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "You have actually taken over another person's body, so now you are a host within this body. And I want you to know this is not your body, so you're going to have to leave." He said, "No, I'm not going to leave." I said, "You don't have a choice." That was another incident where my brother had left and he had been gone for a few hours. And I had to get in my vehicle to find him, right? And at this time I was living like deep in the north in the country. And I'm going to tell you, a country block ain't no punk. A country block ain't got nothing on the city block. Well, the city block ain't got nothing on the country block. Let me put it like that. So I got in my vehicle and I rode around and I drove up on my brother. He was walking. And I put up on the side of him. I said, "Hey." He said, "Say, how you doing?" I said, "I'm okay. And yourself?" He said, "I'm all right." He said, "I'm trying to get home. I'm trying to get to my wife." I said, "Your wife?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Where your wife at?" He said, "She in Arkansas." I said, "Well, what's your wife's name?" And he told me the woman's name. I say, "That's your wife?" He said, "Yeah." I say, he said, "I'm really trying to get home to her." He said, "Please, please, can you help me?" Okay. And I said, "Okay." So I looked at my phone and I put this woman's name in and I found out that this woman's husband stabbed her 4 or 5 times with a knife right after he had got out of prison in front of his son. And his son intervened and he had to lay hands on this motherfucker to keep him from killing his mama. This man went back to prison. And from my understanding, from interacting with this other being that had took over my brother's body, this man was dead now. And I shouldn't say it like that, but he was no longer had a body. But he was having some remorse and some guilt for what he did to his wife. And I was trying to figure out how could I reach out to this lady and let her know that this man is godly sorry for what he did to her when he was in the body. So we can't look at people with mental illness as being mentally actually ill. These are people that are highly sensitive spiritually. And by they being put on medication, what it does is suppresses their psychic abilities. There's more I mean, I should have wrote down every incident over the years, but I did not.
Let me see what you're saying.